Hello, everyone. We're going to dive into, if you're new here, my name is Sarah. Hello, nice to meet you. We're going to dive today into celebrations because I had a recent thought and I went on a tangent about how wild it is to have this thought, but a lot of thoughts are. All thoughts are connected to unconscious beliefs, and having spent years of my life and doing this inner healing, doing the transformational work, really deeply connecting with what was going on internally, unconsciously through processes that I was using with myself and with other people who are transformational healers, whether it's rapid transformational therapy, hypnotherapy, working with other people with my own beliefs, because you really can't work with your own on your own. It takes connection, it takes support, and it takes guidance. You can get to a certain place on your own, but there is a certain place where you go, okay, I'm stuck here, I'm blocked here, I can't go any further on my own. And that is where powerfully connecting with someone who works in that modality is tremendously helpful and incredibly beneficial. So, with that said, having done my own work and having worked with others to do their own work, it's been this beautiful revolution and awakening and understanding that everything is celebratable. And I'm not sure if that's a word. I have another video where I use the word irregardless, and I got a lot of nasty and negative comments on it. So if you're nasty and negative, I invite you to leave because that is not my intention to be that way for myself or anyone else. In fact, the opposite is the intention: to be kind, loving, generous, and compassionate for ourselves and to share that with others. I do believe it gets worked in and we get to work it out. I believe in the power of projection, and it's equal and energetic opposite. You can project nasty, negative, limiting things about yourself, and you can also project and share powerful, positive, affirming things about yourself and with others. So you can live in a world that you create. What's that song? That we live in a world that we design. Is it that? Yeah. Never, never, never enough. You know, from the movie. What's the movie? Help me out. I'm trying to blank on the name. I love the movie though. And I can hear the song. We live in a world that we design. It's so true because the design is a part of our mind. And our mind is designed, 95% of it anyway, with the unconscious beliefs that we have about ourselves and our perceptions and projections onto the world. It's beautiful. And when you live in that state, you get to live in a state where everything is celebratable. Everything. Yes, the bad. Yes, I said it. Yes, the narcissistic abuse. Yes, the past trauma. Yes, the past emotional neglect gets to be celebratable. And how can I say that? I can say that because I've been through the journey. I can say that because I'm still in the journey. I can say that because it's growth, it's progress, it's evolution over lifetime. Having not come through past emotional trauma, childhood emotional neglect, and narcissistic abuse, I would not be able to honestly and fully and completely say that. Having not done the inner work, I wouldn't be able to say that. That truly, 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 I say to you, everything is celebratable. Everything is figureoutable. Everything. When we get to the place where we believe that it's not, we have the experience of feeling stuck. When we get to the place where we say, no, I've gone through this, I've experienced that, we get in a place of limitation and lack. And it's really difficult in that place to say that everything is celebratable and figureoutable because it doesn't feel like it is. But you are not your feelings. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are feelings. I can feel really, really, really angry that I'm going to use Christmas time as an example because it's almost Christmas time, that my daughter knows where the little hiding spot for the presents are. And if she's anything like me, when I was a kid growing up, I snuck into that place and I secretly and carefully opened up the gifts and I found out what they were. And then I pretended to be excited and not know where they were on Christmas morning. I can get really, really, really angry about that. And I can choose to be angry and I can choose to go off on her, but I wouldn't, because what's the point? Or I can choose to just know that if she's going to, she's going to, and there's nothing I can do about it. And there's no reason to be mad about it. We get to choose. We literally live in a world that we design, and we design it with our mind. If I can say, you know, I trust her, And I just trust that she's going to do what she feels is best and right for her. And if that is secretly sneaking in and opening up the gifts, taking a peek at what they are, and then lying to me, and then pretending to be excited about them, I can say that that's false excitement. But it really may be real excitement for her the day that she actually has to stop living a lie and gets to enjoy the experience of having the present and thinks she's doing the right thing by pretending, keeping it from me, and by being excited and pretending that she didn't know what it was. And that's just a really neutral example. I understand we're talking about past trauma and emotional neglect, but we get to live in a world where we get to design it, we get to create it, we get to celebrate it. And it's all to do with the meaning that we've attached to past experiences or the stories. So that example I just shared was a story. I have a story. She has a story. I can make things up in my head about what she has or hasn't done. And she can make things up in her head about what I should or shouldn't do. I shouldn't have hit him there if I didn't want her to find him. Whatever it is, we make up stories and we have attachment to them. And with the attachment, we have connection to them. So everything is celebratable. Everything is figure outable. So if you're living within or unhealed emotional wounds and past trauma, what are the stories around that? Especially the ones that shaped who you believe you to be in this world and in this life. And why is it something that you're not able to get into celebrating? I love, love, love celebrating everything, like celebrating how far I've come. I love looking at the past, and people say, don't look there, you're not going that way. I love looking at it because in the looking at it, I get to celebrate everything that I've learned, everything that I've experienced, everything. And without the bad, the good is not good, because it has to have something that's equally energetic to creating the space in the distance. The space in the distance from it is what's empowering, is I was here and now I'm here. And look how far I've come. That's incredible. That's celebratable. That's figure outable. How did you do that? Well, there's steps, and there's an evolution, and there's a process, and there's a journey to go through. And the fastest, most powerful and effective way to do that is to get right to the core of what you believe is limiting you from the ability to do that. And that is true in everything. It's applicable to everything in life. If this is where you are and this is where you want to be, and there's a belief that you can't get there, or it's going to take too long, or it's going to be too hard, that's generally a belief that's wrapped up in identity. I can't because I don't deserve to. That impacts your self-worth and your trust and your faith and your confidence and everything. And in that, everything is celebratable, because if there's a problem, there's also a way to not have the problem. There's also a solution to it. You can look around and see others that don't have that problem. And in that, you can get stuck in the story of comparison, that they don't have that problem, so I must be. These negative and limiting beliefs that I say about myself, the stories that I say about myself, that I can't have that because I must be these stories. You're not the stories. They're just words. They're just thoughts. They're just feelings. They're not you. They're not. So in that, everything is celebratable. You mean if they're not that, but I believe that I am, I can change it. There's something that can happen that can be different so that I can achieve that, so that I can believe that. Yes. So in that, everything gets to be celebratable. So when I look at my personal past and I look at the lack of confidence, the lack of faith, the lack of trust, the lack of belief that I had in myself, because I was constantly in a state of comparison. I was stuck in that state. Comparison is just an emotional trap that I got stuck in. It was like a bear claw. Gotcha. This is so terrible. Take it off me. And I was like, got you. And there are people who love to use abuse and take advantage of people who are in that trapped, emotional, stuck state, because they're in a state of emotional pain. And then the longer you stay in there, the more deeply rooted the beliefs that you deserve to be in there become. It's like roots. They grow and they go deep. And then you believe that you are that. You believe that you're stuck there. You have to grow where you're planted. Well, I don't want to grow in pain, but I feel like I'm planted in pain. Beautiful thing is you get to uproot, move, grow, evolve, and change. You get to become planted in a new place, become planted in new beliefs, become planted in a place of celebration, because everything is celebratable. Everything is figure outable. That's like someone going, how did you move from there to there? Well, let me show you, let me guide you, let me tell you, let me teach you, because I don't like being in here and you're over there and I want to be over there with you, and I want to be celebrating and loving life the way that you are. Yes, you can, you get to, you don't have to be stuck in that place. There's so much power in our unconscious beliefs, because those are what create the stories, the thoughts, and the feelings that we have. That I have to versus I get to. I get to celebrate the things that I've gone through, because had it not been for those, I wouldn't be where I at. I wouldn't appreciate the beauty that I now see that surrounds me. Because wherever you go, there you are. And there have been many opportunities and experiences in my life where I've been somewhere where anyone else, had they been there, would have been excited, would have felt fulfilled, would have felt whole, would have felt filled with joy and gratitude and love and abundance. And I was like, let's end this all right now, because none of that matters. And none of it mattered because of what was going on internally. I was filled with desperation, filled with happiness, filled with doubt, filled with sorrow, filled with guilt. I was filled with all the negative limiting stories that were fogging up my mind. Everything gets to be celebratable. Now, every little win gets to feel like a big win. Every milestone gets to feel like movement. Every stepping stone gets to feel like progress, instead of it's not enough. I haven't done enough yet. Look, if I had done enough, I wouldn't be here. I'd be there, because they're there and I want to be there. And I now hate them because they got there faster than me. Everything gets to be celebratable. When you believe in your worth, and when you fully and accept and embrace the beauty of this journey, you get to celebrate the big wins, the small wins, you get to celebrate the smallest, tiniest things. I remember one person joining my program, and in the beginning, I can't remember exactly what lesson it is, but it was like, Sarah, I can't figure out anything to be grateful for, happy for. And I said, do you have clothes on your body? Yes. Okay. And so what? You have clothes on your body. Are they keeping you warm? Are they keeping you from feeling shame going out into the grocery store naked? That's weird why you're asking me that. Is that not something you get to celebrate and be grateful for and happy for and joyful for? Do you have food in your refrigerator? What did you have to drink this morning? What did you do first thing when you woke up? Well, I always make coffee. Do you not get to celebrate the warmth of the mug in your hand and how wonderful it feels to have a beverage that fills you with caffeine so you get to wake up and be focused during your day, or at least to the start of it? Well, yeah. Okay, let's start there. I think a lot of times people get off on where they want to start. Well, I want to be celebrating incredible wins. I want to be celebrating having a new house and a loving relationship, because I just came out of this one. I just lost my home because of this crazy narcissist. And now I'm feeling broken and I don't have a relationship. Let's celebrate that, because in your singleness, in the silence, in the silent treatment, you get to celebrate the beauty and the joy of stillness, peace, quietness, the ability to hear your thoughts, because in that, you often can't hear your thoughts. And then you feel like, oh, I just want to get out of this relationship. And then, oh my God, I hear my thoughts. And wow, are they critical? Wow, are they judgmental? Wow, are they negative? Wow, wow, wow. Ah! And then it feels like you're constantly getting triggered. You get to celebrate that, because the triggers are teachers. The triggers are awareness. You finally get to hear what's going on in your head instead of being so jaded by what's going on outside of you externally. You get to process what's happening within you and internally. That is something to celebrate, is it not? Everything can be celebratable. Everything can be figureoutable if it feels that it's not. So with that, if you're not in that state yet and you're like, Sarah, I think you had too much coffee this morning, I want to get on that level though. I really want to get on that level. I really want to get on that space where I see everything as a beauty. I see everything as a teachable moment. I see everything as an opportunity to expand, to learn, to grow and evolve, and to really feel safe to trust myself and see the goodness in myself, not just be so negatively pinpointed and focused on the lack and the unworthiness. I want to be more focused on the worthiness and more focused on the movement towards that, the stepping stone towards fully seeing and fully accepting and fully embracing all of that, flaws and all. Flaws and all. Flaws and all. I love that. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that I mess up my words a lot. And I love when people make fun of it, because I say, oh my gosh, I'm sending you so much love, because that is something that you probably make fun of yourself for. Sending you love, sending you grace, sending you self-forgiveness and self-acceptance, because that's what we need right now. And in that, we get to celebrate when we fully accept ourselves, when we fully embrace ourselves, when we fully forgive ourselves, when we realize that we are perfectly imperfect and there's absolutely nothing about us that we need to fix or change. There is no brokenness. And so we get to celebrate the fact that we used to believe that we were broken and had to be fixed or changed, and step into the beauty of who we are and all of that. And increase self-confidence, increase self-forgiveness, increase self-compassion, increase self-love. We get to celebrate that and understand that there's no arriving to being fully perfect, because it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey inward of healing, transformation, and sitting with and accepting and becoming aware of what's going on within, and not making where we are wrong or bad or not good enough because we wished or hoped or dreamed we'd be by here by then. We'd be here by then. You know what I mean? See, there it goes again. And it's okay. And it's okay. And everything is okay. And everything does work out. In the end, of my favorite phrase that got me through the hardest times of my life was, if it's not okay, it's not the end. And in that, there were so many affirmations and mantras and phrases that I repeated to myself that got me through different times, that got me through difficult times, that got me through the perception of hard times. And I realized I got through those just the same as I get through the good times. Time alone doesn't heal. It's what you do with the time. It's how you spend the time. It's how you invest the time. And a lot of people have this perception that it's spending, that it's going to put you in debt, that it's going to put you in deficit, that it's going to put you in default. It's not so much that. It can be seen as just like a financial investment would. What are you doing with it? What is the outcome of it? How are you going to grow? How are you going to expand and change and evolve? And in what direction? So when doing the inner work to healing, to transforming after living through an emotionally abusive and neglectful past, whether it was a partner, whether it was with a parent, whether it was with a relationship, a friend, a teacher, a colleague, a coworker, whoever, whatever, wherever, the inward journey is one of the most important and impactful. And that is something to celebrate, regardless of where you are or where you perceive to believe you should be. I'm here, you're there, I want to get there. Celebrate this present moment, because it truly is all that you have. So look around you, celebrate what's around you, celebrate where you used to be, and see the difference, see the gap, see the divide, and find honor in who you are today because of what you've been through and what you've gone through. See if you can see it from a positive perspective, from something that you can celebrate. I used to believe this about myself because that person always said. Now I know that that was a projection of their own limitation, a perception of themselves, had nothing to do with me. It was just words, literally just words. That was it. It was just words that they shared. And in the disconnection, in the detachment, there was healing, because I no longer believe that I am that because they said it. Had nothing to do with me. Transformation of the inner unconscious beliefs is incredibly healing and powerful, and definitely something worth celebrating. So in that, I send you celebration, I send you compassion, I send you self-forgiveness, and I send you self-love today and every day. This is not something that we need one time and then we're done. It's not a hit it and quit it. It's not a one and done kind of thing. This journey is not a one night stand. Okay. I've had many of those in my past, and they always leave you feeling the same, full of guilt, full of disgust, full of shame, full of doubt, full of like you want to go get checked out, right? And this journey is the same. Check yourself. Check yourself in, check yourself into yourself, check yourself into the experiencing, the embodiment and the evolution of healing and to transforming the inner unconscious beliefs. Because when you're checked out from that, you feel like nothing is celebratable. You feel like you're checked out from the world, and it doesn't feel good. It feels like you're disconnected. You feel all alone in it. You feel alone in your pain and your shame and your guilt. So check into yourself, check in with yourself and into yourself. And if you don't know how to do that or where to begin or how to get started, just start by visiting my website. It's my first name, last name.com, sarahpacaro.com. So SARAHPACARO.com. I feel like that was like mypillow.com. My daughter always sings that song. Okay, that is enough for today. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.